Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you, Dr. Cardona, for joining us today and for your decades of service to the students and families in Connecticut and your willingness to continue that service by serving as Secretary of the Department of Education. I look forward to your swift confirmation and working with you to help address the many challenges that our nation's students, parents, educators, and administrators face. Certainly, chief among those challenges right now is our nation's recovery from this global pandemic and the associated economic downturn. So, during our last recession, America's community colleges played a real critical role in helping folks acquire new skills and get connected to well-paying, high-quality jobs in in-demand industries. Then and now, career and technical education programs in our nation's community and technical colleges help unemployed Americans get back to work. And CTE programs in middle school and high school can set students on a path to well-paying jobs. I am a co-chair of the Senate bipartisan CTE caucus, and I'm always looking for ways to advance career and technical education. One way to do so is by making community and technical college affordable and accessible to more and more students of all ages and backgrounds. My America's College Promise Act would do just that by making 2 years of education at these institutions tuition free. Dr. Cardona, do you agree that strengthening career and technical education can help our nation's recovery? And if so, if confirmed, how do you plan to support these programs, both through community colleges and in middle and high schools?
Thank you, Senator, for that question. I absolutely agree that career and technical education and pathways are critical in our recovery, but I also agree that our community colleges are going to be a major part of our recovery as a country in education, and they play a very important role. You know, I'll explain how best I can move forward with this by sharing with you that as Commissioner of Education, I had the wonderful experience of working with Superintendent Craig Drezick, who oversaw programming that allowed our high school students to get access to college level courses in a community college and get credit for that and create a pathway for them to think about career opportunities when they graduate the 2 year college. And then, you know, what I've learned in my experience, not only in Connecticut, but throughout the country, I see this happening is if we can really start thinking about how we're providing opportunities for our middle and high school students to be exposed to the jobs of today and pathways that include maybe a 2 year college or a career technical education or advanced manufacturing, computer science training, and get into the workforce, they're more likely to want to go back and get that 4 year degree in something that they're passionate about. So I do think it starts early into middle school, drives up through high school, but we have to design our high schools to be able to provide those pathways for our students to be successful, whether they go to a 4 year traditional pathway or to a pathway that involves career and technical education training.
Thank you. You know, in his first day in office, President Biden issued an executive order directing all federal agencies to review their regulations, guidance, and other policies in light of this summer's decision by the U.S. Supreme Court holding that discrimination on the basis of sex under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act is properly understood to also forbid discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Dr. Cardona, I urge you to make that review one of your first orders of business if confirmed, because it's critically important that all students have a safe environment free from discrimination and harassment in which to learn. LGBTQ students in particular remain vulnerable, and I was deeply disappointed by a number of actions that the department took under the leadership of former Secretary DeVos that put these students at further risk. As secretary, how do you plan to change the tone set by your predecessor and communicate the department's support for LGBTQ students?
Thank you for the question and again for the passion. I feel it's non-negotiable to make sure that our learning environments are places that are free of discrimination and harassment for all learners, including our LGBTQ students. And not only will we review these carefully, we'll also be in discussion with the folks at the agency and our partners out in the field who have very strong perspectives on this to learn more and make sure that we're doing everything to make sure that our learning environments are safe for students, not only physically, but also where they can go there free of harassment or discrimination.
Thank you.